All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with an always special episode of Pie to Pie. This one with Ali Haider from 786 Degrees. Wow. What can I say? It was a pleasure to sit down with Ali. He was dropping knowledge bombs. I was so interested to hear his story. I was even nervous even just to reach out to Ali. I actually saw him at Pizza Expo and I was gonna tap him on the shoulder and ask him to come on the pod. Ali's no stranger to a camera. He won Best in Dough on Hulu, I think last fall. He's been on the Food Network. He's won world championships. He's been best restaurant on Yelp, and he was so humble and so generous with his time. It was just such a good conversation. I took so much away from it. I know other people are really gonna enjoy this. You can tell right away, just sitting down and having a conversation with Ali, how much time and care he gives to his food and his craft and everything that he's doing. Ali, thanks for doing this. It was such a good episode and there was so much talked about that we split it into two parts. So this is the first part and I hope you enjoy this conversation as much as I had having it. I think you're in for a real big treat. I hope you enjoy. We're back, Pie to Pie. I'm almost a little nervous for this one. I'm with a celebrity chef, I would say. The man, the myth, the legend, Ali Haider. Did I say that right?
Ali Haider.
Haider?
Ali Haider.
All right,
That's what's up.
dude. 786 degrees in Sun Valley right now.
Yeah. Welcome.
Pie to Pie, thank you for having us.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. Welcome.
All right, I start these off with a gift. Do you know the story of Sisyphus?
No.
Okay, Sisyphus had to push a rock up a hill and then the rock would fall down and he'd immediately have to push it back up the hill, which is a lot like business, I think. You have to constantly find love in the struggle.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the story. You want to think that Sisyphus was happy doing this for his whole life. So anyways, it's just...
This for me?
That's for you.
It's for us?
Yeah.
That's what's up. Thank
Anyways,
you, buddy.
look up the story of Sisyphus.
I'll
It's
do that.
basically finding love in the struggle. And you run 2 restaurants and all kinds of other enterprises, I'm sure, and there's a lot of struggle.
And so true. I agree. And exactly the words. Once you fall in love with it, because there's no end.
No.
You know,
Exactly. It's eternal.
And that's a myth. No, it's not the destination; it's the journey. Yeah.
100%.
And once you start falling in love with the journey, you're actually having fun.
That's correct.
And even the pain is part of the fun. Yeah, because doing it several times after the hard pain, boom, that's where the love comes in and all the fruit comes in. So you have to go through it. And once after dark, it's bright. So you're like, give me all the dark today, give me all the pain today, because I know then like ka-ching, you just keep on going.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. What attracted you to pizza in general, and who essentially taught you how to make it?
Once I first decided, I'm a foodie, all-time hardcore foodie, one of the guys trying different places, and I was part of, I represented automotives, Volkswagen in particular. So Audi, Bentley, Bugatti, Lamborghini. I was a spokesperson for them, traveling around the world. And what I would do, because I don't drink, everything is halal. So I would go down the locals and try to find the recipes, what the street food people eat. Yeah, that was my goal. So when I would come back, I would try to replicate that recipes back in home. So I always loved food. And then my mom always said, if you try to make your hobby, right, into work, so you're never working. So I said, all right, so what can I do instead of traveling so much, staying close to home? When my baby boy was going to be born, my first one. So what can I do? I was like, oh, you know what, food, but what food? I couldn't just pinpoint, I like a little bit of everything. So I was like, you know what? I love Italian food, Indian food, Chinese, and Taiwanese, bunch of different ones. And what can I do? So I decided, you know what? Pizza, because pizza is the most American thing ever, right? So because flavors are beautiful all around the world. So why do we have to stick to just one style? Why not pick up the best from different countries, what they have to offer, and then present it on a pizza like a canvas, like a painting. So this kind of satisfies my creativity too. Like I can come up with different stuff and there's no rules to follow. And this way I can present whatever I feel is the correct way of doing things, yeah? So so that's what brought me to pizza. I said pizza, I can express whatever I want to. And then learning wise, so I actually flew myself to Naples, Italy. I studied the craft of making pizzas there. At an unknown place, because that's when on a honeymoon we had tried a pizza first, and I was all American mindset. Oh yeah, these guys think the pizza. I'm a big, even today, big deep dish Chicago pizza lover. Yeah, so I was like, that's my go-to pizza. But with let's see what they have to offer. And the first time I remember they presented a margarita. I'm like, hey, me telling my wife, being all American, hey, look at them. See, they didn't even give a fork. They just give a fork and knife. They didn't even cut the pizza. You know, so just one bite blew me away. I'm like, what is this, right? So I'm like, whoa, let me order another one. And as soon as I order another one, literally a couple of minutes, he gets a marinara. They just had two choices. That was shocked me. The whole restaurant, just two. I'm like, yeah, marinara. I said, what? How come they're getting it so fast? And I have zero knowledge about it. And I tried that. I'm like, whoa, the tomatoes taste so good. You can feel it. You can smell the freshness. I said, let me get another one, you know? So this way, I told him, hey, can you show me, are you making it? He said, yeah, everything is fresh. Imagine I'm telling an Italian guy, are you making this fresh? You know, he killed me, yeah?
Yeah.
I said, can he come along? I said, all right, whatever, this guy, you know? So I went with him. Then I saw the wood-fired oven. I'm like, whoa, what is this happening? So that was my first impression. So coming back to you is one fine day I decided, you know what, I want to go in food because I love food, and I wanted to present something which is 100% halal because we only eat halal, but it doesn't have to be exactly, you know, like Indian, Mediterranean, or whatever people just think options as. It has to be certified by some completely different, which happens to be halal. I said, you know what, pizza is great. Especially pizza Napoletana, you know. So then I said, you know what? I know something I can do and learn. So I flew myself to Italy, bothered that guy, you know, poor guy. And then he showed me some tricks and let me work at his place, and then came back and then got my certification and started my journey from there. And then I built my own oven once I came back, imported some lava ashes from Hawaii. To retain the energy, because I was the only one. You know, if the oven would be so heavy, how could I push it? Like I started doing farmers market. So I built my own oven. The first two cracked on the first fire because I was so excited to push it all the way up. But the third one came out nice, and we started from there and started doing farmers markets. So that's the first way I started. Yeah.
So let me get this right. You ate at this dude's restaurant.
Yeah.
And then you kept in contact with him, and then you hit him up and you said, yo, let me come work for you.
Yeah.
And how long were you working for him?
And keeping in mind, he doesn't speak English at all, and I don't speak Italian. Yeah. So, and still, I had to make friends. Remember, with my attitude, American attitude to him. So I had to kind of calm him down, get into like, hey, I'm not here to, you know, I'm here to love and respect what you know, what's been done, and I want to follow it the correct way. So initially he would just throw me out as a big English speaking server or try to get some more business, because then he realized, I told him, hey, I don't want any money, nothing at all. I just want to hang out and learn. Then he realized, dude, this guy's not going away. He's serious. So then he kind of took me, you know how the Italian love is, the family. He took me under the wing, and it's like, all right, this is what we do. You know, learn the basics, the structure. I was like, all right. So yeah, it took me a bunch of months because, you know, I had to come back and fly back. Yeah. So in total, I would say the whole journey was about 9 months in and out.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So, and imagine for 9 months, I was just focusing 9 to 5. Whenever I would come back after building the oven, I would practice in my backyard like a true job from 9 to 5. And you can imagine how many pizzas, because it's almost like I was training myself. You know, I've made a lot. The idea was make as much as mistakes as possible so I can learn. And hence all my neighborhood, they love me, because I was the guy knocking on the door, and you know, we don't want to waste food. It's a sin. So I would knock on the door and say, hey, we didn't order pizzas. I'm like, no, I'm your neighbor, so-and-so place. I'm practicing, you know. They're like, what? I'm like, it's on us. Just don't waste it. Enjoy it. And they started doing that. Yeah. So
that's a hell of a marketing tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, I'm going to show up. Here's some free pizza.
Exactly. But I meet some of them, and guess what they tell me? Oh, your pizza's then? Well, probably better. I'm like, what?
Oh my gosh.
So I said the free part is attracting them, but yeah. So no, they still come and support. Yeah.
So what year was this when you?
This was, I would say, all this was happening in
oven?
2014-ish.
Wow.
14.
You had the pop up before the pop up craze.
That's when all these exactly. That's when the food trucks were big. How much you know, pizzas can they sell from a food truck? Number one. Number two, how much are they going to charge? What, $10, right? So why do I have to invest so much? So my idea was, no, if I just built an oven, you know, and I'm selling the same amount of pizzas, charging the same, the end result is the same, and they're doing that, how long would it take me to cover off my initial investment? You know, and that was my strategy. I said, nah, let me just make a mobile oven on wheels. There were probably just 1 or 2 people doing this everywhere. anywhere.
How much did that oven cost?
To me?
Yeah, at the time.
Oh, because since I built it, with of course getting some help, people who know, not much at all, not much.
Okay.
The first one, yeah, I still have it.
Really?
And my thinking behind everything is different. So I was like, hey, if I built it, I know all the goods and the bads.
Yeah.
So if anything goes bad, I can fix it myself. I'm not depending on anybody. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you have Tuscany, Mexican, Mediterranean-inspired pizzas, really unique offerings. How do you come up with these ideas? Like, you kind of noted that you wanted to be able to paint as many pictures on that blank canvas of pizza,
Right,
but how do you come up with those? And then, with pizza Napoletana, or, you got these guys that are like, that's not authentic, that's not
Correct.
traditional.
Correct.
And what you're doing, I would not say
I know.
is authentic or traditional.
100%.
But I would say it's authentic to you. But what would you say to that? And then where do you come up with this creativity?
Yeah, my vision was always to take something what is the best of the best of the best, which is, in my heart, pizza Napoletana. But the idea was, how much cheese or pepperoni can people have? How much, what more can we do with it? It has to be elevated, right? And why not offer something with the base to some people which is getting them very nostalgic with the flavors. And I'm of a mixed background myself, yeah? So my mom, I tell jokingly, my mom would make hummus, Indian curry, and then pasta on the same dining table, right? And then it would match. So I said, you know what? It's possible. It's just that not many people have experienced it before, so they don't know what they're missing. So that's when, I believe all of us these days have experienced different flavors. Like if you ask a family, hey, what do you want to eat today? Kids are going to be like, I want Mexican. The wife goes, I want Thai. Somebody wants Mediterranean. Somebody wants Indian. But what I wanted to offer, hey, what if I offer all those on the same dining table, which happens all the time. A family of 5, they're literally getting different countries and then arguing over their pizza is better than the other ones,
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to offer. So I don't want to miss any opportunity to not serve them. Now talking about that, I'm still respecting my classic margarita is certified. So the idea was one pizza is, but not my restaurant. So even though I do get a lot of offers, hey, you can, certify the restaurant. I was like, I cannot do that. You know why? Because I want to do what I want to do. Imagine them looking at the Bombay tikka masala. It's like, what? And even for that sauce, I'm very authentic to India. You see? So for my bulgogi Gangnam style, I use apple and pear just to, make the sauce out of it. Authentic to Korea, the way that it is, the taste is. So that was my strategy. So be very authentic to what it is. My classic Napoletana, margarita, San Marzano tomatoes, mozzarella buffalo. It's getting imported every 2-3 weeks. So I pick it up. Basil we grow ourselves, and my dough formula is true Neapolitan.
Well, I think the good thing about pizza is like it shouldn't be pretentious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a pretentious food. You should be able to do everything that you want, but I understand that there's like old country values.
True.
And
yes.
Traditional.
100%. And we do get a lot of Italians coming in, yeah? So all my team knows, hey, make it Napoli style, so they know. So we give them a fork and knife and exactly the way they crave, and we know they're not going to even look at anything else.
Yeah.
Fine, with love and respect. Enjoy this, and they're like, pooh, blown away. So the idea was not only being the best at that, bringing other options too.
Yeah.
So, and then people are like, whoa, oh my God, so...
Awesome.
It changes and then this way my vision was because I know what the people in Turkey are like. I know the people in Egypt are like,
Yeah.
For example, India or maybe even Korea. But not many Americans have traveled. But the idea was, hey, if this is the kind of food they serve, you think, God forbid, they're going to be bad people? Nah. So it actually gets people closer.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, people compliment always. Hey, I never tried Korean food, but after your bulgogi Gangnam style, your pizza, I started going to Korean barbecue. I was like, that's what's up. I never tried Indian food, but I always thought it's spicy. But when they try it, like, oh my God, it's unbelievable. There you go. So,
That's great. You're
getting people
introducing
closer.
people to different cuisine.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And it's like a taste testing. If you, that's what I tell. If you enjoy this pizza, which is one of my Istanbuls, it has chicken Turkish. It has doner kebab, which is marinated for 72 hours. I finish with fresh cucumbers.
Yeah.
Cucumbers on a pizza? Yeah, because that's what those people enjoy breakfast, lunch, dinner. So when they take a bite, they're like, oh my God. I'm like, guess what? Now you can travel to Istanbul. You're going to love the local food.
True.
So that's
or
like
you might be, more inclined to try that now that you've had that taste. I think it's a little safer for people to eat it on pizza. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because pizza is very close to them. So they're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And everything, there's no bad pizza kind of thing, So it's going to be what bad could happen.
Yeah.
And when they try, they're like, oh my God, I never thought this could be good, It's like,
I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, on that note, what is your best-selling pizza?
I get that question a lot
Yeah.
too, and it's super interesting because believe it or not, it's a season according to the weather. Yeah, so that's what I noticed. I do have some spicy pizzas, yeah, and some pizzas with a lot of bang on the flavor, boom, 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 and some pizzas which are very, very earthy, Italian. So my summery pizza are, I would say, Istanbul, the light ones, very Mediterranean fresh, and my Italians do really well. But my winter, like the weather like that, pizzas like Bombay Tikka Masala, Burj Khalifa, it takes you to Dubai, those one with the heavy flavors.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what time, lunch or dinner. They're going to be one of the best selling those days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it just differs.
It differs. It
There's
depends
no
on
one
the weather.
pizza that's
No
like,
one-
yeah,
no
that
one
one
pizza.
is the
No one pizza.
slam dunk
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time.
Yeah, and it's all the interesting part is too, if you would say is okay, the easy, most attractive pizza, people coming in, they really, really want to try is definitely the Bombay Tikka Masala because
Yeah.
that's what gets people in for some reason.
It's beautiful pizza.
Thank you, brother. But once they try something, they always want to get one of their favorites. Like whatever, it's like, oh, chef, I cannot. Let me get this and something else. Let me get this and something else.
Yeah.
And then they switch. They're like, oh my God, this one is even different. So they keep on doing that.
Just to remind everyone, we are having this podcast is outside, so this is real LA right
the true
here
feel of
for you,
LA,
you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? Okay, so you've competed in like plenty of times in pizza competitions. You've won your share of accolades. What's been your favorite part of competing? And then after that, what's some advice you could give to somebody who just got into it, like myself, or somebody who wants to get into it?
Competing, I'm okay. Growing up, I wasn't as competitive kind of person. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like number one everywhere. No, but then what I realize is, I need, if whenever competition would happen, instead of just one pizza which I'll be competing with, I would end up making 3-4 different ones with it. So which are really respectful, which I can actually serve in the restaurant. So it was more of a trigger of being creative. Yeah, there's a deadline, and I have to be sure. All of a sudden, oh my God, this is good too. That's amazing too. Even my team is confused; they don't know which one to compete with. So that's the next thing you know, both the pizzas on our menu. So that's how just like a tunnel of being creative and coming up with results. I started doing that, and I was like, that's the best time for me to come up with something new. That's the reason. And number two, I learned a lot, from different people just by doing that. And there's that more times I didn't win at all, and that or even winning, that didn't make a difference. But just the people I'm surrounded with, I would learn because I was already so late to the game, and I was like, I have no time to waste. So the more I learned, the more, and this is what I've decided. This is what I want to do, and I really, really love every aspect of it. So I wanted to grasp as much as possible, and then grow with it. Yeah, if somebody's doing something interesting, like salutes, and teach me. So I've always been trying to be a sponge and learn as much as possible. Yeah. And and I would say that's the best way. Competition is not like, oh yeah, if somebody's going to judge on what you do. Think about it this way. Reality is if really you don't score that high, it's okay. But then you know what to tweak. And then because at the end of the day, everybody in their heart, they believe they want to serve the best pizza possible, right? Great. And even the judges, they are just like us, but they have fallen 100 times more. So it's better like those guys advise us so we don't make that mistake. In fact, it's a help, trying to save time on the help and just skipping up instead of competing 100 times and learning. By the judging, if they say good or bad or what's missing, I would always love the comments at the back, and I would try to imply them. Hey, this is this why? Because this kind of took over the flavor. Oh, your crust it was kind of soft. Oh, why? Oh, because I didn't put the net at the bottom. So like little tricks. So then you can take that and use it in your restaurant too. Calculating who's going to try, when they're going to try, how they're going to present it, things like that. So always definitely helps.
Okay, so it was like, it was basically like more of a learning experience than it was about taking home gold.
Yeah, and then because let's say you take a goal today, yeah, great, but tomorrow somebody else will. so it's not the matter of I never intended to be like, oh yeah, the number one. No, I want to be people's favorite.
Yeah. And
I felt this is the best source to get to that level. Yeah, and and it always keeps you on top of your game, challenging you every single time. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Okay, so you've been on TV plenty of times. You were just on Hulu. You won. Have you been on the Food Network?
Yes, sir.
As well. I I've seen you on the news multiple times, I think. How do these opportunities present themselves? You know, how do they come about? Are these things people like reaching out to you, like to somebody who like wants to get on the news, or
Yeah.
you know, like what advice would you give?
Yeah. I know I get that question a lot, and I wish I would have a formula. Really, that would be easy. The only thing I can say is you have to be different. Number one, yeah, you have to be different. That's what I felt. Why people get attracted, and number two, especially the media people, because I'm thinking about their philosophy. They want something. Sad to say, but it's not that they love you and your business. The reality is, of course, they love their business, which is news, and news is marketing. Yeah, so they wanna go to somebody who's gonna aid them get more viewers. Yeah, so once you start thinking what value I can provide them, and that's where magic happens. So I feel just being different is number one key, and coming not just because different. No, it has to be a reason for that, and then raising up your caliber so high, yeah, that they cannot miss you, right? And then you're shining in a way that they feel like, oh, how did we miss this guy? Let me get to them, because this guy will help us get more ratings, get more boost, you know, and be very flexible, because people think that they arrange like 3-4 weeks earlier, they give you a notice, or they want to come in. Nah. Sometimes I've got people like calling in the morning, hey, we are calling from ABC News and we want to call Jay Leno wants to come in. It's like, what? It's like, yeah. What do you think you're going to be? Yeah, you're going to say no? So you're like, all right, then next call, boom, team, shining time, A game, yo, you know? And literally next 1 hour later, boom, they're there. And that's you. In other words, you just have to be, I always love this quote, you have to be, opportunities come to them, you know, who is ready. So you always have to be ready. People say, oh yes, it's not an on and off switch. You turn on your zone. I'm in zone today, tomorrow I'm not. It doesn't work that way. In business, you always have to be in zone. You never know when the right opportunity comes in. And you just have to be ready for it and just kill it. And how do you be ready for it? You practice, you know, by yourself. So.
Okay, that's great advice. And everything you said, I think that was very helpful.
Yeah,
So are you talking about practicing? You're like talking about like in the mirror? I mean, like I just met Ali for the first time face to face. I've followed you for a while, and you do have a certain energy about you right away when I met you. It's very easy to talk to you. You know, is that a personality thing? Obviously, that's a gift that you were born with. So maybe media isn't for everybody, because you didn't practice this.
No.
You know what I mean? That's
No.
that's just you.
I get it. It's a blessing, bro. Again, so what I feel, but I did recognize this. It's a skill set, I would say, and anybody can do it. I truly trust anybody can do it. It's just a matter first to recognizing what your strengths are, yeah, and then literally cashing it in and making the best out of it. So being like number one in your mind, like that's the most you can do with it. And instead of, I truly believe working on my weaknesses, you know, you work on your strengths. Somebody else asked me this question about, hey, since you're not Italian, did you have, you know, when you compete, if the judges are Italian, did you feel a little? I said the answer to that is actually no. The reason why, because yes, they are Italian, but I have multiple different ethnicities in myself, so I can do so much more. You know, just one thing. So it's just the way you look at things, I feel, and just perspective, and just find it, and then instead of being sad about it, because I cannot go back and change and become Italian, no, but I can do, I can serve a pizza, you know, trying my best to be as authentic as possible, to serve them,
All right, that's a wrap on part 1. Come back for part 2. Bombs of knowledge are being dropped. Thanks for listening as always. We'll see you back here for part 2.